everybody. Welcome to Vicious RV, and welcome back to the regular members of the RV Nerd Herd. My name is Josh, the RV Nerd, and behind us is a Winnebago 2108. And this is one camper that basically has 12 different iterations and variations, all of which are significantly different enough, I think, to kind of make or break it for different people. So the specific camper that we're looking at today is the Winnebago Micro Mini 2108 FBS. That's a front fixed bed with the dinette slide. But they also make this in the DS, which is a front Murphy bed. They also make this in the TB, which is a front twin bed. And all three versions of those, you can choose either a dinette in the slide, like we're looking at today, or a sleeper sofa in the slide. Actually, a trifold sleeper sofa, which is kind of cool. It even includes a nice little lagoon table for dining, but we're not looking at that today. So that's 6 different iterations right there. But now you can double that because these are all available in the Winnebago Flex Edition, the FLX, basically what a lot of people call Max Solar Package, but it's so much more than that. So today what we're going to do is just take a real deep dive in the 2108 FBS. Hopefully later in the year I get a chance to record 1 or 2 of those other versions, but this one floor plan, other than the, you can change the bed, you can change the seating, the one video here will apply to basically all of them. So it's a small, lightweight, tandem axle narrow body camper, which is a rare find, and they're running on torsion axles, kind of like a Rockwood or a Flagstaff. These are fantastic. Some of the best towing campers out there because they're not so big that they're scary. I've seen some people tow package mid-size pickups feel a lot better towing one of these versus something a little bit larger, and not everybody wants a single axle. This fits into a really small space in the RV industry, or rather an monitored space in the RV industry of people who are looking for small but classy with a lot of features. That's what you're going to get in one of these right here. Not necessarily the lightest weight, least expensive little guy, but something where if you're looking for more premium in a tiny package, that's 11 pounds of dynamite in a 5-pound sack. And if you'd seen my footage on these the last couple years, at a glance, not a whole lot's going to change, but they made one update here that I walked into and I immediately went, whoa. And it's that big kitchen window. It used to have this tiny little window with a crappy little backsplash that wasn't good for much of anything. And basically they just took all of the space they had between the cabinet and the countertop and just said, make it a window. And this little trailer has some of the best campsite window coverage per square foot that I think you're going to find in the marketplace. It is fantastic. Now, wherever they can, they're actually going to be moving to blackout roller shades. So right now, you're actually, if you got an eagle eye, you can see the little string for the pleated shades. My understanding is they're going to be moving to blackout rollers across the family. And that full entry door, that does also have a privacy shade, so kind of keep that in mind. And again, the front end of this RV and the slide out. There's a couple different options you have here. Today we're in the FBS, the fixed bed with a slide. There's also the DS, which will give us a front Murphy bed. The DS, the name comes from the old version, which standard had dual sofas. But either way, any of the floor plans, any bed combination can have either the dinette that we're looking at or a sofa in the slide. So you have a choice there. And then there's a third choice of bed, the TB, which is what I call the twin to king vertible. So if you're looking for more of a mine and yours separated bed arrangement, they have that too. Again, with or without a sofa. So the front end of these might change a little bit. And depending on which sofa or which bed you get, it may change a couple things related to the windows. But for the most part, this one video will correspond to all of them. Winnebago's always been good about giving us these big breeze across windows. I like that privacy shade right there. We're going to get to see that in action just so you can see how thin or sheer or thick and not sheer it is. Also, both sides of the headboard have these handy household and USB outlets, both Type A 2.0 and Type C plugs. So some solid USB coverage. You'll find a lot of those in the RV. And almost every household outlet in this RV is now inverter prepped. And that's something that previously Winnebago just didn't do. If you wanted to do anything related to an inverter, you either had to completely custom wire something, or you had to spend some money and go up to the FLX kind of enhanced off-grid boondock moochdock kind of edition.
which you don't necessarily have to do. Now, a couple things I like to share, good with maybe not so good. The ceiling height in here, I think, is only like a 6'4". They are a little bit smaller inside, and that is not a true queen bed. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 60 by 74 short queen. I don't think it's a 54-inch wide full-size bed. I could be mistaken on that, though. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, how important the TV is to you may actually factor into which bed arrangement you go with. Because if you're in the FBS fixed bed like I am, or the twin bed, neither of them are really excellent for TV viewing. But if you go with the DS, that'll give you a Murphy sofa up front. This would be your entertainment package right here. Now, a couple other interesting things. Of course, you got that JBL kind of, AM/FM Bluetooth thing above that. But down below here, you actually have a nice little wireless phone charge pad, which is cool. And they've gotten a little bit more intelligent about where they're mounting their TVs. The last couple years, they've been mounting some of their floor plans TVs so close to that countertop that you couldn't even, fit a phone on it if you wanted to use a wireless phone charge pad, which obviously is just a bonehead move, and they've since obviously made the correction there. These are also very easy cleaning and very pet friendly. No floor vents, no carpet, even in the slide. And the decor. Hope you like it, because this is what they make. They don't have an alternative. Now, if you're laying in the bed, or if you get the DS with the Murphy sofa, this would kind of be your view over here. And again, the campsite window coverage and the cross breeze ventilation in this are absolutely fantastic. It's also really cool that this little camper does have centrally ducted air up top. That will really provide some comfortable airflow. And, this is a very solid extended season camper. Very good in hot weather, even with all the windows, because you can close the windows, and it's such a small cubic foot of space, the air conditioner is going to be able to keep up for you. So, that's some kind of cool things right there. Up top, you might notice a convection microwave oven. You can do a little bit of air fryer action in that thing if you're so inclined. It does not have a propane oven, nor does it have any allowances for one. Now, they do have, if you really wanted to custom DIY something, you could branch a T-junction off of one of the propane hookups in the kitchen, and, you could have an oven installed, but here's what I'm going to tell you on that. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. The cost of doing that feels a little bit prohibitive. You'd probably end up finding just a different RV. Anyway, just being real with you about that, just kind of for what it's worth. Now, cracking open everything, giving you a little deeper look here. Little storage pocket above. The TV can pivot around, and where that can be nice is depending on where you're sitting in the RV, maybe somebody's laying on the bed, somebody's sitting in the dinette or the sofa. You can still kind of, sit at the slide seating and lounge looking toward the television if you're so inclined. The bed up front, again, several different configurations, but generally speaking, they're all going to have some kind of storage below. And the twin bed model gets a little bit tricky because the twin bed model does not have those hanging closet wardrobe towers. That is something that you want to kind of keep in mind as well. The DS and the FBS, the two front north-south beds, with or without Murphy, those always have some hanging storage. The good news is in the bathroom, you're going to see there's an additional hanging closet. And the entertainment, the kitchen, and the bathroom are going to be identical between all three members of what I'm going to call this floor plan family right here. So like the trash can storage, the big stainless farm sink, the flip-up extension, all that stuff that you saw over here in the kitchen, that will persist no matter which bed, no matter which sofa you get. So it's almost like if you cut the RV in half diagonally, half of it can change around like crazy, and the rest of it simply cannot. The other really fantastic part of this floor plan, and I know it's probably the reason that you even consider buying this floor plan in general, is that when you are sitting right here, the person in the bed or on the Murphy sofa and the person on the toilet, if they leave the door open, can just have the world's most epic dominance establishing staring contest. But, maybe not. I guess it depends. I did notice, we're going to see me do my toilet selfie champion routine in the bathroom in just a second here. I did notice that the hanging towel bar right behind the toilet kind of bumped me in the back of the head a little bit. But I'm not trying to be gross about this. I don't know how this applies to your life. I tend to be a forward leaner. Didn't cause me any problems. That is porcelain and foot flush, by the way, and shockingly fluffy friendly. However, with these having a shorter ceiling, my head's all the way in the skylight. And remember, if you're looking for things like that shower miser package, when you go to the FLX edition, you will get more than just an enhanced solar package. You'll get some awesome additional features like that. And this is where I was saying the bathroom actually has some really good storage. And if you get the twin bed version, the bathroom is going to be really your only source of hanging closet space. Again, a very important thing to remember. Now, I'm very up close and personal on this, so I got you some extra detail footage here, kind of showing you like all the different storage space and capacity that you have in this bathroom right here. The bathroom counter, just like the rest of the counters, is all sealed edge pressed membrane kind of material. And even though it is very tight back here in this little bathroom space, they did still include a dedicated bathroom sink. And if you notice, it's fairly deep, the countertop, so it can actually leave room for plenty of like toothbrushy kind of space and all sorts of things like that. So there's some things the RV does very well, and there's some things that because of its small size get a little bit tight. That's where sometimes I think people look at these micro minis as a really good option maybe for solo camping, because not everything necessarily has to be about just couples. In fact, I think the twin bed version might be a really good option for like a single parent camper. That is a chunk of the RV industry that doesn't get talked about a lot, maybe because it's awkward or something. But let's be real about this. There's, a lot of single parents out there that would like to take their kids out for a weekend, but they don't necessarily need a dedicated bunkhouse. A twin bed setup could allow a mine and yours separate situation. And you might notice these micro minis, when the slide closes, are very travel accessible. Now, between the dinette and the fridge, it does get a little tight here, but I can still sideways travel trailer two-step. And this right here, I didn't even realize until I closed the slide, this is another more recent update. This bathroom door used to swing open, and now it slides open. And when you had a dinette model like this, when the slide closed, it could prevent you from getting to the bathroom in transit, and you no longer have that restriction. And also keep in mind, if you go with the sofa, it actually is a little bit less bulky, and it feels a little more open and easy to pass through. So kind of, the more you know.
The weights and measure categories on these are really truly some of their best qualities, because again, most of the time, when you start getting into tandem axle campers, you start getting into these big 8-foot wide things. And if you look at the RV industry, it's like you go from these like 3,000 to 4,000 pound single axles to these like 5,000, 6,000 pound tandem axles. And there's like nothing in between. That's where these guys live. They live in that interesting little in-between space because they use a lot of nice materials like their double Asdel walls. So Asdel layering on the outside and inside. Both, but also they're only 7 foot wide, which is something that's kind of phasing out about the RV industry. And 7.5 wide, that is becoming very common. You can do some cool things with that you can't do with a 7 foot wide floor plan, but the goal behind this is to be light, small, simple, easy to tow, that kind of stuff, and it accomplishes that goal. You see, the normally I believe these are 20-pound propane tanks, but they've been using a lot of 30-pound propane tank covers for a while now. It's a little bit confusing when I see all the different RVs that I see. It really trips me up sometimes. They are also, like, there's certain features that they just do not balk away from. Like, up top, you've got that 200-watt solar panel with that cool little wind fairing to help protect it while you're in transit, or if there's a low-hanging tree branch to avoid it from getting ripped off the roof line. They run a different kind of chassis. They don't run a Lippert chassis. It's made by Norco. It's a huck-bolted style frame. They have 4-corner independent push-button power stabilizers where they all operate on their own. They're not like V-pivoted, scissored together. And the underbelly of these, enclosed, forced air heated, radiant barrier, and holding tank heaters standard on basically almost any towable they make. Those are just what Winnebago calls I think they're called their red line or red thread features, or something that's kind of woven between the entire family. Now, if you notice this slide, goes above the floor. Because you have that wheel well right there, the slide is actually above the wheel well. That's why it's not a totally floor flush slide, which does limit certain seating options. Like the Micro Minis cannot accept a theater seat, but they did come up with a crafty little tri-fold sleeper sofa again that's available as an option on these. Magnet holdbacks and the key-alike system means you have one key that will juggle your baggage doors and your entry door kind of, all in one. And something new for 24, some of those red thread, I don't remember which, features. Over here, the little wedge box that you're looking at is actually something designed to help protect the wiring for those power jack switches. And by the way, those two switches, one for the jacks on either side of the RV. You'll find two more matching switches on the back of the RV. So 4 jacks, 4 buttons, makes sense. But you saw that sticker said prep for inverter. That's where they put the inverter wiring on the Micro Minis. And with the way that Micro Mini is wired, which is actually slightly different from the rest of their lineup, basically pretty much every outlet in this thing could be live if you choose to wire in an inverter. Now, when you go with the Flex Edition, the FLX, you expand your solar. You totally change the air conditioner, the water heater. We've got a totally separate video outlining all the different enhancements that you get with the Flex package, but it also includes like a big 3,000 watt inverter that can run a bunch of different things. Now, down here, behind those big, these did not always used to be Goodyear tires. These kind of aggressive tread Wranglers that they're running right here, these used to often be import tires, so they have stepped up in that regard. You can see if you choose to add a TV to the outside of your RV, it actually does have a prep backer to wire one into that. And this is actually surprising to me that they have still left the old classic gas electric two-way vent in their sidewall, but that is actually basically functioning as a access panel to get to the back of your 12-volt compressor fridge. Jayco has kind of done some similar things. I think it was kind of a case of it wasn't broken, so we weren't fixing it sort of situation. And for a little camper, they put the biggest awning on this thing they possibly could. I could take those speakers off and frisbee disc them myself. They don't do me a whole lot of good, but that's just me. It doesn't mean that's how everybody has to feel about them. But I did notice on the new Winnebago Access stick and tins, they did get rid of outside speakers on those, so I think it's something they might be considering at some point. We'll see how that pans out. I was actually getting ready to mention, you see that white and yellow thing down there? That is the gas grill cooker hooker. And you might notice how they're giving us and instead of or. We are getting a receiver hitch and a bumper instead of a receiver hitch or a bumper. Now they have stuck with a gas and electric fast recharge water heater, so it's DSI auto ignition, and it can run both gas and electric simultaneously. That will get you just shy of 18 gallons of hot water per hour if run on fast recharge mode. On electric, basically 7. On propane, basically 11. I've been told Boondock folks are still preferring the gas electric water heater, although I don't know, I've heard a little bit of it both ways. I think the jury's still out in some cases on the tankless on-demand water heaters, but it does seem like they're here to stay. It doesn't seem like they're going away anytime soon, but it doesn't look like they're going to be the only game in town anytime soon either. And again, just to help you kind of understand what you're going to run into here, if you check that link in the video description that I'm going to leave you, I'm just going to leave you a link to all of the Winnebago 2108 family, whether it's the twin bed, fixed bed, or Murphy bed, sofa or dinette, flex edition or standard series. That one link will show you any of these that we have in stock, how they're equipped, and the given price tag at its given location, so you can see exactly what you're working with when you're ready. And if exactly what you're looking for in those 12 different variations is not there, call our team and we can get you some quotes on some things or see what other options we might have in our inventory for you. So let me know what you think about her. Again, they didn't greatly change the equation, but I do like that new big kitchen window. I think that is awesome myself. I think it has a big impact, even though it's a small change in the RV. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.